So we're starting with a racing game tonight. So the funny thing is, if you watched my racing stream earlier this week, at least one of them was a anti-gravity racing game, I think, allegedly. I'm not good at those. I never really played Wipeout. I tried Redout, and at a certain point I just hit a brick wall in terms of, like, difficulty curve. This is apparently part anti-gravity, but part kart racer, judging by the description over here, which I might as well read to you now. Drift, boost, and spin around corners at blasting speeds, possibly even turbo-blasting speeds, in this stylish single-player and multiplayer arcade racing game, blending the familiar drifting of kart racers and tight responsive handling of classic anti-gravity racing games. Oh, okay, that was actually like the second half of the first sentence, but it had a capital B in blending. I didn't realize that was a comma before. Because I was like, that's not a complete sentence. Okay, but I see what they did there now. With a focus on being easy to pick up, but difficult to master. So it's part kart racing game, part anti-gravity racing game, and part Othello, because, like, that was Othello, you know, the Reversey, the board game with the black and white pieces that you flip one with the other by surrounding it. Like, that was on the Othello brand of that board game. Its shtick was, its tagline was, you know, a minute to learn, a lifetime to master, or something like that. So that's all I ever think of whenever I see that, but that is a... Similar phrases are often seen across video games as well. We'll have to see if I can even learn it, because, like I said, I'm bad at anti-gravity racers. So hopefully that doesn't get too much in the way. I was poking around the discussion boards for this a little bit, and, like, somebody was like, I cannot not finish in 10th place. But apparently, since then, they added a tutorial, so hopefully I'll have some help. Maybe it's actually secretly a good thing that it took me a month to get to playing this game, this demo. They do have, you know, they do have news pages. In fact, let me go over there here. So the Next Fest demo was of course, mid-June. They posted an update, almost 2 months before that about it. And this game was kickstarted, back in October of 2025. And I do have the Kickstarter page open. Warning, it's going to become a bright background in a second. This is the Kickstarter page, which is still getting actively updated with comments as well. I guess maybe the last update about upcoming Next Fest at that point? No, it's just a content update. Okay. I'm surprised they didn't post about Next Fest here, actually. But if we go to the campaign and we scroll down, we can see... So obviously I did meet and exceed its goal, and what that was good for was the initial crowdfunding goal and also the addition of a survival mode. From there on out, the goals got more ambitious. I feel like 15k more to a photo mode is not... I mean, okay, I could take or leave a photo mode. It's cool and all, but it's not what I'm playing the game to do. I feel like if they had, like, inverted these or made the photo mode less of a distance, maybe they would have gotten slightly further, but you're still talking about they already met the goal. How many more people are gonna back it? I do kind of wish that they... Like, if I had seen this, I might have backed it back then. The thing is, like, I've seen some Kickstarters be timed around the Next Fest demo, whereas in this case, the Next Fest demo came, like, 2 cycles later. Like, October would have been 2 Next Fests ago. And I didn't know about this game then. But we'll play it now and see how it goes. But one thing I will point out is at the time that they closed the, or, you know, when they performed the Kickstarter, they didn't want to, like, drag on, like, extending the window for, backer rewards, like, custom artwork or vehicles. But now they have rethought that, because it turns out, like, this is a solo dev, and they're trying to work, like, they're hoping to work on the game full time, but, I mean, if it only got 28k in the Kickstarter, that's only gonna keep you going for so long, depending on how much savings you have. Like, that's a bold play, to try to work on it full time with that low of a Kickstarter goal, in my opinion. But then I don't know like what country they're in and whatnot, so I can't really be the judge of that anyway. And I shouldn't be the judge of that anyway. But yeah, so if you're interested in this game and are an artist and would like to consider like contributing artwork and also throwing money at the developer, those basically like quote-unquote commission tiers are open again, and they have Google Forms for them. So that might be interesting to some people. Anyway, let's go read the rest of the store page. This initial animation here honestly does... I mean, like, yes, it looks slightly F-Zero-esque, but something about the animation... I mean, I guess if you've played Wipeout, you might be reminded of that. I'm reminded of Extreme G a little bit. Not with the HUD necessarily, but just with the movement, the motion, the sense of speed. Extreme G was... I'm trying to remember. I'm pretty sure Extreme G came out before F-Zero X, right? So I had played Extreme G first, and that was really my first taste of, like... I mean, if you don't count F-Zero on Super NES in the previous generation, like, that was my first taste, since I never had a PlayStation, of, like, high-speed... an attempt at high-speed 3D racing. And that's what this gives me the vibes of immediately. Anyway. Drift, boost, and spin around corners. Okay, this is the same text that we saw before, right? Yeah, okay. Project TurboBlast is a passion project. It is a love letter and homage to old-school arcade racing games like F-Zero, Hot Wheels, CTR, and many more. I haven't really played any of those other ones. Features Grand Prix mode, Blast mode, a survival mode inspired by Wipeout's Zone mode, where you progressively get faster and faster. Can you handle the speed? Okay, so it's good that they specify here. I was not aware of Wipeout's Zone mode, I don't think. I know of Death Race and F-Zero X, but that's a very different thing, I imagine. Time Trails? I think that should be Time Trials. Ghost data and leaderboards. Race against multiple ghosts from the online leaderboard all at once. Oh, that's kind of cool. That's basically async multiplayer. I forget... Trying to remember if any of the games like Neon White and whatnot allowed you to race internet ghosts. It's been so long since I played anything that would have even had something like that I don't remember which games let you do it. Online multiplayer, race against your friends and make new ones. Mod and workshop support, custom tracks and vehicles planned during early access. Vehicle customization, custom wraps, colors, and body kits. Driver customization, different helmets and body mods of your choosing. Join the Discord. You can playtest early builds, get news and updates, see works in progress and screenshots, give feedback and support. Do they let just anybody playtest early builds, or is that supposed to be for, like, backers or something? Playtesting and support. Want to test pre-release content and offer feedback? Then you can join the Discord. Yeah, I guess they're letting anybody do it. Okay. Wishlisting puts Project TurboBlast on the map for other people and notifies you of news and demo releases, so it helps a ton and is deeply appreciated. Let's look at our requirements. Congratulations, my processor is not older than the lowest requirement here. They couldn't decide whether they were talking about gigabytes of RAM or megabytes of RAM, so por qué no los dos, apparently. But no, that's a typo. But 4 gigs of RAM minimum. I don't know, something is eating RAM on my computer right now, actually. And it might be the game. So I would probably err on the side of caution and say, yeah, 8 gigs seems like a wiser target. Minimum GTX 1060, recommended, that would be RTX 3050, right? And 2 gigs of available space. Let me go check how big the demo is. The demo is 1.3 gigs. I imagine, well, depending on how many new, like, art assets there are, you might exceed 2 gigs by the time the game releases. Now, one thing I was wondering is, like, this is not in early access yet. It says planned release date 2026, but there was mention of early access down there on this page, right? So, like, I would imagine they're going to release into early access. Which seems like it would be a good idea for them, given the devs gotta eat, and the dev is trying to work on this full time for as long as possible, I imagine. But yeah, let's take a look at it. Because if, you know, like I said, kart racers I can do. Wipeout style anti-gravity racers I'm terrible at. So this may or may not, like, gel with me. But if it does, I would certainly wishlist it. Because, like, just based on, like, the visual quality we're seeing, they do have... Oh, that was another thing I, like, kind of meant to point out in the Kickstarter project. I'll just look at the page myself and report from it. Because this does, like, you're hearing this music, right? This has serious music in it, and I wanted to know more about that, and that's why I looked up the Kickstarter specifically. And they do have, like, they specifically had a composer work on the soundtrack. Specifically, Germgoated is the music composer responsible for the OST. And the Kickstarter page does have one music track, like a YouTube link to a music track, or a YouTube embed, rather, right there on the front page. Oh, they also have the voice actor, Kat McKay, who is the voice of Tempo. I wasn't expecting voice acting, so I would have had my, you know, socks blown off if I were wearing any once we got in game. I don't know if they have it yet. I suppose I shouldn't get ahead of myself. They have an online menu already. I would not be surprised if this doesn't work. You're kidding me. This already has online functionality? I'm not going to actually try it right now. There's an unlocks menu, which this is sort of, okay, sort of achievement-esque, but I guess it does actually unlock things. But let's look at the options. I feel like this isn't the first game that I've seen the CPU rubber banding toggle in, but maybe it was this one when I first tested launching this weeks ago. I find that hilarious, that you can actually turn it off. Depending on how, if I do either too good or too terrible with this, I might have to, especially if I'm too good at it, which I doubt will happen. Maybe I'll have to try turning that off. But let's keep it at the defaults for starters. There's 3 difficulties, so there's novice and there's expert. Invert pitch, on or off. Okay. I guess I'll leave it at the default and see what it feels like first. I feel like for F-Zero, I'm used to it being inverted, so sure, why not? Steering dead zone, you can configure that. Show drift UI on vehicle. I don't know what that means. Maybe we should test that. We've got... That's interesting that you can, like... You can configure camera options here. I'm kind of curious whether there are controls to, like, change camera angle or at least distance, because, like, I feel like the right stick would be good for some of these options, maybe. Visibility. Overall effect... Oh, dude, this is a good option. Overall effects opacity. So, like, if you're finding that things are too visually distracting or literally blocking you from seeing the dang road, you can turn this down. And then you can do it for, like, individual... Dude, okay. I am almost immediately at the point of shut up and take my money, and, like, this is why I wish the Kickstarter had happened at the time of the next although, what am I talking about? I'm playing this 4 weeks late. I still would have missed it. Probably more than 4 weeks late, actually. But yeah, these settings are great. More developers need to do this. You've got intensity of all sorts of different things. Motion blur intensity slider. Fisheye intensity slider. That's great for people who will get motion sickness. Exhaust trail intensity. Opacity? That's opacity and intensity at the same time. Exhaust trail opacity. That's a cool thing. Like, that's like something that could potentially impede visibility, so that's good to have an option for. HUD opacity is a pretty standard thing that a lot of games, even FPSs, will have that. Machine UI opacity, UI effects intensity. So there's overall effects opacity, and there's UI effects intensity specifically. So I guess that's like stuff that messes with the UI specifically. Show FPS. This is apparently on. Oh, it's in the top right corner. It's like, it's semi-transparent, so it's not really in the way. So you've got your display mode, which can be full screen or borderless or windowed. There's an apply button, so it doesn't apply immediately. You've got your resolution, anti-aliasing, which seems to just be an on-off. A lot of games tend to have, like, several options for type of anti-aliasing. This doesn't seem to do that. VSync, one thing I would love to see that this doesn't have is a independent FPS limit after VSync, so that if your VSync is off, you can still control the FPS maximum. My GPU is not being eaten alive, so we seem to be okay in that regard, but we'll see what happens in game. Shadow quality, show skid marks. There's a funny little graphical glitch going on here where, like, it's initially getting a little carried away. I'm like, I'm going to show a yellow bar on the next row. Oh, there is no next row. The next row is the buttons. And then it snaps to the apply button. I wonder if that happens with mouse. It actually does. Huh. That feels like it's a glitch that they probably want to work out. We've got granular audio controls that I have not really messed with. At least not today. There's a perfect lap notification. I guess, does that just mean you haven't taken any hits or something? That's interesting. Let's look at our inputs. Why are there... Wait, what? Are these unbound because it doesn't bother showing the axes? Or... for some reason that bound to the wrong... Yeah, I'm not sure why these are unbound. And if... it seems like it's just detecting the axis, so I'm assuming that the up versus down is still controlled by the invert setting in the other menu. Alright, so gas on right trigger, brake on B, drift on left trigger, okay. Interesting how one of these is solid and one of these is outlined to tell it apart. Not a bad idea, you just gotta learn which one is which. Blast is on Y, trick is on X, TurboBlast, there's blast, but then there's also TurboBlast. Rear view, okay, so camera's right bumper, rear view is left bumper. I feel like... So I'm kind of pondering whether I would rather have the camera stuff on, like... Well, I can understand having rear view on a bumper, I think, but, I don't know. We'll just try it and see initially. There's a dedicated respawn button, which is your back button. Join/kick. It's an interesting dual use. Okay. But that's related to internet games, I guess. Alright. I don't think... Did I change anything? I don't think I changed anything. I just hit back, so... If I had... Well, it kept the control settings correct, so I think we're fine. Should we look at customize? Let's look at customize. I mean, pretty neat default, I think, but we can customize the body color. Honestly, I might leave it somewhere around where it started. I don't know exactly which color it started on, so it's probably that one. Wheels. Oh, so you can pick from presets, and then you can customize the hue, saturation, and value. Changing the value is very slow, though. What the? Oh, it wraps. That's hilarious. The slider wraps from one end to the other. I would not expect the slider to do that. Maybe don't do that. But that's funny that, like, then it just becomes invisible within the wheel. But yeah, no, you can... Alright, I'll just stick with that, though. Is this actually, like, the engine effects? Oh, it's both the engine and also, like, is that supposed to be brake lights, or is that sort of, like, not quite underglow, but is it all actually engine-related? I don't remember what the color was originally. There should be like a reset to default option. Oh yeah, it was blue, right? It was something like that. We can go with that. Oh, and you can like set... You can set what your, like, details are. Oh, I can also mess with this with the, It's funny how it kind of looks goofy as it loads in. That's kind of neat. No, if you want to be two-faced, then you just use this one. This was the default one. That's kind of neat, too. Let's go with this. And then does that actually changes the color of that. So you can actually make it like really subtle and low contrast if you do something. It almost makes it look like a shadow instead. That's kind of neat. Oh, that's a little more cyan than I was hoping for. What if we do like the same as that, but then I mess with the down? Oh, well, if I do this, it actually scales up very quickly. Like, that doesn't feel linear, but maybe it is. I would imagine it is. But like at the beginning, it makes a very stark difference. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's just go with that. Okay, and then we can choose our driver's helmet and body, but everything is initially locked here. Does it even let us preview it? Complete all tutorials. That's good news that there are tutorials. Also, I should have started the timer like several minutes ago because I've actually been messing with customizations, but we'll guesstimate it. And then a couple of them aren't available in the demo. Okay. But we can already mess with the colors. Is that just for the helmet, actually? Yeah, so you can actually make the helmet, like, mismatch the body. Color 2. Oh, that's... okay, that's over there. So that's funny. The sliders will wrap left to right, but this does not. I feel like this is more worth wrapping left to right than the sliders are. Wondering about that thing in the back there, because that's not using this color, but I'm not sure that's even controllable. Because I would expect... I don't know, unless that is this color. Oh no, that controls like the back of it there. Oh. Oh, and yeah, and the top. That's what I was kind of hoping for. That is a lot brighter than I expected it to be. I was kind of hoping for like indigo, sort of. That shifts a lot with like a single option. Alright, and then what about body? There's A, B, and C. You kind of... Okay, so C just makes you flat. Of course, naturally, there were whiners on the forums about, I want to be a dude. I don't know. Is A, like, sufficiently androgynous, at least? Yeah, I'll stick with A. And then we can change the body color as well. Holy crap. Not gonna spend too much time tweaking this. What is... Okay, color 2 is the part that was actually, like, white to begin with, which means you could... Wow, that looks kind of interesting, actually. And then is color 3 the pads? Or... No, what is color 3? Oh, color 3 is the back of that. Okay, so that's considered part of the body. I still wish that I could, like, go wrap left to right here. Alright, I have sufficiently customized things. I should actually get to playing the game. But I mean, there's already that much customization in the demo. I haven't actually played the demo yet. What's in machines? Presumably... Oh no, there actually are. There are 4 machines in the demo, and one of them is a bike. Okay. That's interesting. It's a lot more than I thought I would see in the demo. There's only 3 other machines that aren't in the demo, actually. Like, are you really showing more than half of your machines, or are you expecting there to be more? Obviously, like I said, they also opened potentially more custom machine slots if people want to pay to contribute them. Let's just look at the balance here. And every single machine has lore, too. TurboBlast systems are the pioneers of the PTB, which is Project TurboBlast, the name of the game, racing event, and creators of the TB jet engine system, making an impossible sport a reality. Impossible is capitalized, that's how impossible it is. A reality for any crazed thrill seeker. TBS machines are well-rounded, setting a standard for the scene. I think there's like an extra period after Seeker, rather an extra space before the period after Seeker. So this one's more about energy and speed. This one's more about acceleration and handling, and actually its boost is somewhat higher as well. I'm surprised there's not like a weight stat. And then I guess each of them have like a brand or an organization associated with them. So yeah, there's actually like 2 from 3. Yeah, 3 of these organizations have 2 vehicles, so it's quite possible that we'll see more ultimately. So this is Vulcan enhancements. Do these... Okay, yeah, so this was the Blazerus Mark III. This is the Z-Blitz by Vulcan enhancements. Vulcan is an interplanetary service specialized in blasting things into space. Thanks to eager... See, now... I would find that amusing if it weren't for 2026 being the year of companies wanting to blast way too much shit into space that doesn't belong in space. It's like, blast your CEOs into space. Do us all a fucking favor, actually. Thanks to eager investors, they pushed TB machines to their breaking point. What their machines lack in control, they make up for in raw power. So do these actually show... No, they actually... Each vehicle does have its own lore. It's just that the first of each company's vehicles tends to introduce the company, I guess. Hayata, a street racing crew. This is the Sidewinder 86 by Hayata. Joined PTB seeking the thrill of an exciting race. They minimize... What is happening? I don't think I want to use this just because, good lord, those jet engines could cause seizures or something. They minimize the size of their machines, cutting down on costs, but mainly for superior control, compensating for an overall lower max speed from smaller engines. Smaller engines could have fooled me with those 2 fucking seizure warnings on legs. They're not on legs. You know what I mean. Road buns, this is the Turbo Cyclone Mark X. Because fuck numbers. I guess it's the Mark 10, technically, because, yeah, Roman numerals after MK, that's not unheard of. Although this one is using Arabic numerals. Road Buns started as a robotics manufacturing company. However, after Tempo, the face of Road Buns, rather, who was missing in action, reappeared, winning the current PTB Grand Prix with a cycle. Wait, how do I interpret that sentence? However, after Tempo, the face of the RB who was MIA reappeared when it... Like, this isn't a full sentence. I don't know how to interpret... This sentence needs rewriting. Oh, maybe the part after the period is actually the second half of the sentence. Road Buns then rebranded as a TurboBlast racing team specializing in motorcycles and supplying robotics across the scene. This is the Rollo Mark II, the previous generation model of the highly used Rollo Mark III. This one has been heavily modified with TB systems. The Scorcher TBX, a collaboration effort between TBS and Blast Soda Inc. Maybe we'll see a Blast Soda vehicle exclusively at some point. This highly engineered vehicle was made to both compete and sponsor their product in these races. Despite its stiff handling and poor energy, it makes a... Imagine a collaboration with a soda company having poor energy. What the hell were you thinking? Anyway, it makes up for it in high speed and acceleration excellence. But good luck controlling it. Designed for comfort while cruising at high speeds. Yeah, look at this thing, the Hyper Cruiser. Hence the name. In order to make a high-speed excursion as smooth as possible, It sports a hover-based propulsion system. With solid tuning and a low acceleration, you get a machine that rides like a dream on and off the track. Right, seems like maybe not the greatest idea for racing, though, with the acceleration that low. But I guess if you get up to speed and don't bonk into anything, it might be great. Alright, so we've got tutorials first. So, oh, that's interesting. Yeah, okay, so tutorials is down here, but the very first time I picked race, it jumped me into the tutorials menu. Alright, so let's do that.
Welcome to Blue Oasis.
Okay, I didn't know if they were actually gonna, like, say anything to introduce the tutorial, but no, it's just introducing the track. It says press to start race, so what did I press? The button in the start position, but that actually pauses. Alright, press A.
Hold the gas button to accelerate. Use the left stick to steer, and hold the brake button to slow down or reverse.
Hang on a second. Alright, so that's our voice. I need to look up the voice actor. No, there's no overlap that I know of. Okay, well, it was worth a shot. So my immediate thought when I heard the voicing here was, it sounds like someone from Assault Android Cactus. Like, it sounds like it's either Cactus or Holly or somewhere in between. And, like, alright, I can get behind that. I mean, especially given, like, the sort of style that the character is depicted into. Oh. Let's get my controller inputs back in the window here. Yeah, brake reverse on a face button rather than left trigger feels weird, but I know left trigger is going to be drift, so that's probably more sensible anyway. I'm never going to use brake. And they do tell you how to rebind inputs.
3, 2, 1, go!
Yeah, feels sufficiently F-Zero-esque.
Welcome to Blue Oasis.
I suppose it's gonna say that every time.
Hold the boost button for a powerful burst of speed. Draining all of your energy will put you in critical state. In this state, boosting will consume no energy and prolong critical state, though taking further damage will destroy your machine.
That's interesting. Because, I mean, like, anytime that you watch, like, anyone speedrunning F-Zero GX, for instance, you will see them go down to, like, no health at the end of every race. Possibly for multiple reasons. But it's interesting that this kind of, like, leans into that and even potentially incentivizes further boosting and living on the edge. But, yeah, I don't know if I would trust doing that with other people on the track. And boost is the Y button. Okay.
3, 2, 1, go!
Well, see, I'm glad I didn't use all of my boost. Oh. So, when I had mentioned that I had seen somebody on the forum saying they were always placing last, I forget if it was the same person or someone else, but somebody had mentioned that, like, also I'm ending up on fire and it just says retired all the time. And it's like, yeah, you probably boosted until that meter at the bottom right was out, and then you got dinked by literally anything. So it's like, yeah, the tutorial definitely helps, but also, like, emptying a meter usually means bad things.
While turning, hold the drift button to slide around corners. While drifting, you will build meter for a drift boost. Once charged, while drifting, press the boost button for a small burst of speed. Though weaker than a blast boost, drift boosting is a powerful tool to gain speed in turns.
Though? THO? That's only half of a word. You will build meter for a drift boost once charged. Wait, so where is... Is that a separate meter? Or I guess that's... Oh, that's what the bottom left meter is, because I was seeing the bottom right also filling. Hey, Burrower. And it actually is Mario Kart-esque. They did say this was part kart racer, but I mean, like, if you look at that bottom left meter in the video up there, it's changing color. So, like, there's multiple levels of building up drift boost. What I do find a little bit strange is that it repurposes the drift button. Actually, let me pay attention to what happens to the bottom right meter, because I thought I saw that empty at one point. Unless that was just where the video looped. Yeah, okay. The video is longer than I realized. Let's see how it works. So the boost meter like flashes red, or flashes rather not red, but like it flashes I guess green, the color, its normal color when it's starting to refill again. Yeah. I'm gonna run out of time because I wasn't boosting long enough.
You gotta do better than that.
You know, I was about to comment that like the over accentuations of this character's voice actor were getting a little bit like overboard, but that one was good.
Welcome to Blue Oasis. While turning, hold the drift button to slide around. 3, 2, 1.
Uh-oh. Yeah, so it flashes very visibly when you're in, like, the danger zone. I had, like, 0.05 seconds left or something. Yeah, I'm sure this will start demanding a lot of me in terms of controlling correctly and boosting optimally.
Hold the trick button to build trick meter. Land at the right time for a speed boost. Failing a trick will nerf your speed momentarily.
So, what... Oh, is the trick meter the upper bottom right meter? Or, no, that's just your speed. That's just showing when you're getting a speed boost, I guess. Oh, the trick meter is in the middle, like, when you're specifically in the air. Okay. Alright.
3, 2, 1.
Where's the trick button again? It's that one. Well, I fucked that up. I'm not sure how to time them.
You gotta do better than that.
Hang on, let's read it again. Because there's one thing that I probably critically messed up. Because I was just tapping the button, and I don't know... Oh, no, I don't want... No, I don't want to skip it. They should default to restart in that case.
Welcome to Blue
Or consider that.
Oasis. In the air.
It says hold the trick... I was not holding the trick button. That's probably the problem.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, okay. Oh, but you have to basically get it right when you land. That's actually tricky. You're supposed to land while it's in the yellow. But that means you need to be focusing on the meter, but also when you are landing. And, like, it moves pretty quickly. So, good luck feathering that. There's a lot of mechanics going on this. This is going to require a hell of a lot of attention.
Above your energy is the blast meter. Passively, and various actions such as boosting and tricking will build blast meter. Once full, pressing the TurboBlast button drains blast meter for a long-lasting speed boost. While turboblasting, boosting and tricking will prolong the duration. Press again to disable early.
Okay, what was... And TurboBlast is the A button. Okay. This sentence is not well structured. Passively and various actions such as boosting and tricking will build blast... Like... Various actions such as boosting and tricking will build blast meter, and it will also charge passively. Something like that. You can't just mix an adverb and nouns like that. That doesn't work. I feel bad for Kat for having to voice... Like, I would look at the script and be like... I mean, I guess you're paying me to say this, but what the fuck is the sentence structure? They really need a copy editor, and I guess I have to say they really needed a copy editor in the past tense, because they already recorded voice lines to these sentences with improper grammar. You hate to see it. You hate to hear it, actually.
3, 2.
Yeah, so now we have a full second meter. That's a lot of screen shake. You know, I didn't see a screen shake slider, did I? I probably should have boosted while it was going to keep it going longer, because I said that was a thing. I like that the flames start showing even before you're at critical, so that you have early warning.
To Blue Oasis. Above your energy is the blast meter.
It doesn't accept input for the first couple of seconds of each screen. Well, I missed that one. You really can keep boosting just like infinitely when you're in critical state. So if you're on a straightaway and the coast is cleared, go for it.
Welcome to Day-Night City.
Oh, I guess...
You've learned to win the race.
Okay.
Staying on someone's trail will increase your speed. Good luck, and don't forget to TurboBlast it.
Well, at least good luck being one word instead of two doesn't affect the voice line delivery, but yeah, that's normally 2 words. Finish in first place. This is where we find out whether I stand a snowball's chance in hell at actually playing this game.
3,
I am so going to botch this.
1.
I forgot about tricking. I don't really want to turbo blast when there's a huge corner. I need to remember what the trick button is. It's like you do end up using like all of the face buttons. And I blew up. Oh, can you actually land in blue also? It's just that you have to avoid landing in red. There's a second path up there that I am only noticing now. I see, and the jumps are only part of the track. There's a lot to take in here, and I think I might actually play with turning off some of the effects. The effects are probably not doing the stream quality any favors either, honestly. So let's go over... Which... Was that in this menu? I think that was further down here. Yeah, overall effects opacity. It's crazy that you can make it worse. I don't know if the speed lines are actually the thing that are messing with me. Or if it's the motion blur. Let's just turn down... I mean, I could just do overall down somewhat. It could be the exhaust trail, too, for all I know. Yeah, that's a lot. That seems a lot more visible already. Yeah, what position was I even in? Also, why am I just constantly ramming? Alright, just don't give my car AI at all. Just have it repeatedly bash into a wall until it goes over the track and then out of bounds and falls through the cityscape below. Also, yeah, I finished 10th. What is this combo I am seeing here? How is... I feel like there needs to be a tutorial on combo. But yeah, I might be very bad at this. I mean, like, ostensibly, it feels sufficiently F-Zero-esque. But there's just a lot going on. I forgot I actually have to press the boost button. Like, okay, you know what's messing with me? You have to press the boost button to use the drift boost, which feels weird. Like, I expect it to just work when I come out of drift, but I can see where you wouldn't want it to do that necessarily. Yeah, and you can see it resetting when I do that. I am so bad at cornering in this. I should really try taking the other path at some point. No, Bell, that didn't work. Okay, so if you make it to the top path there, you kind of don't have time to do a trick. Was I last place again? We might have to switch the CPU to the easier difficulty. Yep, wait, it says did not finish? I crossed the finish line. What do they mean, did not finish? And yeah, look at how my score is 1/5 of the next score up. Clearly I do not know how to play the game. It looks really cool, but I can't play this game for beans. I can't pause while it's in the countdown. And I change... Here's the default difficulty. I assume I would have to at least restart the race for that to actually work. But we can try it to see what happens. It definitely is easier to look at now that I, like, reduced these settings, so it is very nice that they have those. If I restart here, will that take effect?
Welcome to Day Night City. Apply what you've learned to win the race. Staying on some... 3, 2, 1, go!
Yeah, now I'm first. There seems to be a very wide gulf between novice and regular. I'm lapping people? That's how much different this difficulty is. What the hell, dude? I feel like you start getting a feel for the timing of the tricks, how long to hold it. Yeah, so I just went from 10th place every time to first place. How was my score that much better? Is the score just based on your place? Because, like, my combo still wasn't as good as some of them. So... I feel like the difficulties might need dialing in, because apparently there is a gulf the size of several planets between novice and standard. I have no other way of explaining that. Oh, my score wasn't the top score, though? Did I have to finish first place in the race, or does my score matter? I mean, it didn't say I failed, so I guess that was good enough.
To Day Night City. The secret to going even faster in TurboBlast.
We're not done with tutorials.
Is to master sneaking drift boost between your blast boost. Blast boost, then drift boost shortly after, then blast boost again to chain boost. This especially maximizes speed on straights. If you're falling behind, consider places where you can slip in drift boost for extra speed on the track.
I was noticing that it feels like there's no penalty at all for, like, even for doing, like, as shallow a drift as possible, which I feel like... Was it Mario Kart 64 that conditioned me to not do that? I feel like one of the Mario Karts would, like, spin you out if you kept, like, trying to do, like, the shallowest possible drift. But then there was Mario Kart DS, where snaking was apparently the name of the game. Like, I remember once randomly trying an online thing, and it was, I think it was against somebody in Japan or something, and all I know is, like, they just started snaking immediately, and they were basically in the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, while I was still in New York State. So, like, I don't fucking know. But apparently snaking might be a big thing in this game, which means, yeah, it's effectively a kart racer. If they give you a wide track, you make use of the wide track, is basically what this is telling you. I wonder how much handling will, like, if you have a car with good handling, does that actually make it harder to snake?
3, 2, 1.
Well, I should probably not, like, miss the boost blades. I don't know how they're doing this. Well, so here's the problem. There's only one drift button. So you basically have to abuse the shit out of your analog stick if you want to do this, because you need to turn one way to drift, and then you immediately need to turn the opposite way to drift as shallowly as possible, right? I kinda wish that restart wouldn't go through the whole, like, message again. Although I can see the value of doing it if you need to read it again.
3, 2, 1.
I just accidentally hit the camera button. Oh no, that's the reset button. Alright, well, let's not do that. I hit the stick so hard that I fat fingered it, and I hit the select button, the back button, and that resets your car.
To going even faster in TurboBlast. 3, 2, 1.
Now, we're gonna have to do it a lot more aggressively. They expect you to nail these concepts as soon as they introduce them, and I feel like that's asking a lot of players who are new to any of these ideas.
Welcome to Day-Night City. The secret to going even faster in TurboBlast. 3, 2, 1.
Slightly better, but not good enough. I don't even know where the finish line is on this course. Might be it. But I feel like you really need to, like, learn to chain the inputs. And, like, the most frustrating part is, like, being able to drift in the opposite direction of your turn at a moment's notice on a straight line.
To going even faster in TurboBlast. 3, 2, 1.
That was bad.
You gotta do better than that.
I don't know if I'm gonna do better than that. Oh, that might have been slightly closer. That felt bad, but it might have been slightly closer.
Welcome to Day-Night.
I'm honestly wondering if I'm better off just abusing boost. Like, without bothering trying to chain, given that I can basically do unlimited boosts. Yeah, I guess they're probably meaning for, let me pay more attention to the video. Like, there's no sound on the video, so I can't tell for sure, but they may be chaining a lot more rapidly than I am, and that might be the difference. Because obviously, like, there's a cap on how often you can boost.
The secret to going even faster in TurboBlast is to master sneaking drift boost between your blast boosts. Blast boost, then drift boost shortly after.
Also, I'm wondering if they're always waiting. They're always waiting for a yellow charge. I have not been doing that. So let's try doing that. I apparently jumped the gun on that one. I'm totally fucking this up now.
You gotta do better than that.
Where will I stop? That was worse again. I think I'm gonna skip this tutorial. But this probably... I wonder if this explains a lot in terms of how far I was left in the dust on normal difficulty. Yeah, I'm gonna skip that.
Welcome
Because if they're just expecting you to snake 100... I mean, I feel like that might be something for, like, the advanced difficulty or expert or whatever it's called, but for the middle difficulty, that feels like a lot to ask. If you have to be basically doing that all the time.
Do you have an unquenchable desire to tackle those raging hairpins at blast speed? Releasing gas while turning allows you to corner tighter. Furthermore, while turning, releasing gas, then holding brake lowers grip, allowing you to whip it around corners even tighter at high speed.
Okay, this will be an interesting one to try.
3, 2, 1, go!
I released the gas too soon. Okay, yeah, that... I wonder how many of these corners there are. There needs to be a quicker, like, failure loop, because you have to... And you always have to wait for, like, the one screen to come out and then the next one to come in for you to use the menu. Like, all those animations don't need to be there if I just want to restart.
Do you have an unquenchable desire to tackle those raging 3, 2, 1, go!
I am totally... Like, the problem is I can't even judge how big the corners are. Wasn't there a camera button? What was the camera button? I should check that.
Welcome to Day Night City.
Was that on one of the bumpers?
Do you have an unquenchable desire to tackle those raging 3, 2, 1, go!
Right bumper. Okay. Let's see if that helps. I'm still misjudging that corner. Was the end actually in sight after that corner? Yeah, kind of. But you basically have to, like, hit all the corners perfect in this, I think. But it's like, you're gonna have to learn the track. I feel like you're basically bound to fail every single race initially. If they expect you to, like, memorize them that well to have any chance of winning. Okay, I did remember my camera modes, so that's nice. I don't know how you have enough time to do this. I guess I'm skipping this tutorial. Like, this game looks super cool, but the difficulty curve on it is completely fucking insane.
Welcome to Day Night.
And then they added a novice difficulty where the competition is basically non-existent. It's like they don't know where the fucking gas pedal is. It's like, I'm not that bad. I'm just human, and they apparently expect you to be completely fucking inhuman on every other difficulty.
Or after triggering any other boosted action to stack boost, such as landing a trick, drift boosting, or driving over a boost pad. Maintaining a boosted state is key to victory in PTB. If you aren't boosting, you probably should be.
If you aren't boosting? Aren't, with an E and an apostrophe before the T? So, they need a copy editor, and they need playtesters that aren't, like, absolute hardcore fanatics of... I don't even know, because, like, I feel like this even goes beyond, like, Wipeout. Because, like, this definitely has, like the store page said, it definitely has kart racing mechanisms to it as well. but there's like so many different things that you're expected to be thinking about doing at any given time, which is funny because AGXGP, which I played the demo of earlier this week, I saw one person in the forums kind of like criticizing that game of having basically the problem I'm having with this one. Whereas at least in that game, there are like specific it's pretty choreographed and like conveyed as to what you're expected to be doing at any time, which I guess you could argue is true in this as well, but I feel like it's more implicit in this game. It's like, if you've got a wide straightaway, you better be the master of snaking. If there's a turn, you better be able to read our minds as to how big and how sharp the turn is, so that you can take it as efficiently as humanly possible, and like get all of the drift boosts you should be getting, but oh no, it might be too sharp, and then you need to cut the gas, actually. Which I am surprised, like, how effectively you can whip around corners even just by cutting the gas. Like, I never used the brake on that previous one, and it was still enough to cut that corner. So it's like, if you do it right, it probably feels great. Learning how to do it right, like, you know, the store page said simple to learn and difficult to master. The way these tutorials are timed, it seems to expect you to master it immediately, to the point where you won't even be able to pass all of the tutorials if these systems don't come out as second nature to you. So, like, you need playtesters outside of the dev team of one person. So if they are going to have people playtesting this in the Discord, probably a good thing. But also, I don't know how many of the people in the Discord are also, like, hardcore fans of the genre that already perfectly understand how all of this works, because, like, you know, I feel like you have to be a certain kind of person to willingly join every Discord on the planet, because everybody and their pet monkey has a Discord. But this message is, like, well, to use a word they're using, it's kind of stacking on the previous one, I think, or one of the two previous ones. And actually, what's funny about this is it actually kind of, like, goes against my instincts from F-Zero, because I feel like in F-Zero, like, typically there is no stacking of boosts, so you're waiting for one boost to finish before you apply the next one. I could be slightly wrong on that when it comes to, like, boost pads versus self-applied boosts. But yeah, boost stacking, that's not... I feel like that's not nearly as much of a thing in games that I have played, so that is a alien concept to me. But that means this is going to be even more impossible than the other ones. And I never remembered a trick, dude. What the why was that one easy? I expected that to be harder than the one that was trying to teach me how to snake. That one, I probably could have just done nothing. Like, I even completely fucked up a trick landing. And I didn't run out of time at all. These tutorials are not consistently balanced. But okay, sure, I'll pass that one. You've, without an apostrophe, unlocked Blast Boost Challenge complete. It's like, look, it's fine if English isn't your first language, but please get somebody for whom English is their first language to copy edit your game, especially before you hand off lines to a voice actor. It's tragic. Hey, Asopolis. So this game looks super cool. If you're just getting here, this game looks super cool. The difficulty is all over the fucking place. I had the one race in the tutorial, it was like in the middle of the tutorial series, because there's like an A series and a B series, I guess. The one race in the tutorial was completely impossible on the middle difficulty that the game defaulted to. I was placing 10th, last place, every single time. Switch it to novice difficulty, I was lapping people. So it's like there's this huge gulf the size of an entire galaxy between the lower two difficulty settings. Okay, 10 minutes may or may not have been long enough to see the first race. Anyway, I guess we're doing actual races now. So you've got Grand Prix, Single Race, Time Trial, Blast Mode. Is that the survival mode? Did they already unlock that? What's playground? I guess this is just you can go around doing whatever. Yeah, this is like this. Wait, what is the blue boost? Oh, it forces your direction. Okay. Fascinating. Honk. It's like one of those, you know, it's like a playground level you would see in like a movement FPS or something. Yeah, like, at least they didn't call this baby mode, but, like, they definitely implemented it like baby mode, and I don't understand why, like, it doesn't need to be that far down. Because it felt like it would have been impossible for me to not place first at that rate. Anyway, I guess we're doing Grand Prix on baby mode. Okay, so actually, I'm curious about something, because that started on novice, and I don't know if that's because of my options setting. If I switch this to standard, and then I go in here, yeah, no, it defaults to my difficulty setting, so you can basically set it there. Okay, so there's gonna be, wait, what? There's Lightning Cup, Thunder Cup, Typhoon Cup, Mystery Cup, and Storage Cup? I like how there's debug level in Storage Cup. We got works in progress. Thunder Cup apparently already has, like, announcements, but, you know, announcements of what courses are included. Although they do say work in progress, I guess. So those are even more work in progress because the image says work in progress. But these say parentheses work in progress, and then the name of the course. I will say the names of the course are a little hard to read with the font that small. This is not the most readable font, especially when it's all caps. But yeah, okay, let's try all the tracks in the Grand Prix. So you got Blast Oval, which I'll assume might have been what was in the tutorial race. Oasis Loop, Vine Knot, and Chrome Skyway.
Welcome to Day Night City. 3, 2, 1, go!
Yeah, this is the same course that was in the tutorial. I will say that the boost effect in particular is still kind of distracting. Can I change that? I wonder if that's is that technically the exhaust trail? All of these sliders wrap, so like if it's at 1.0, just press right once if you want to turn it off. Let me try that. Did that actually take? Because, like, earlier I backed out and it asked me if I wanted to apply, and it didn't do that this time. It did apply that, even though I didn't hit apply, so that's inconsistent. It seems like that did not zero out the blast effect. Because there's like this ripple effect when you blast, basically. And it's very jarring. I don't know if that would be under the fisheye effect or something. I mean, let's put this back since it doesn't seem to be doing anything. I can't actually zero that out. Okay, well, let's try that then, I guess. Cool, I blew up. Oh, I haven't used my TurboBlast at all. Doesn't matter that I blew up. I don't know where everybody else was. Everybody else was like half a minute behind me. That's how ridiculous Novice is. But like I said, I would probably be getting last place in everything if I wasn't playing Novice. Although then they sort by score, and then I don't actually finish first on score anyway. I don't know if that matters. I don't know which one is measured for actual standing. If you can read this, you're driving too slow. Alright, well played. I guess this is gonna be the other tutorial course. Shouldn't have boosted there, probably. Did somebody actually catch up to me? Yeah, apparently. I might not finish first. Even on Novice. Oh, I accidentally aborted it. Shouldn't have boosted there. What place was I? Like 4th? 5th? Jesus Christ. So wait, why is everybody so bad at the first course on Novice, but then they're so much better at this course on Novice? Like, I immediately thought Novice was a pushover because of how that first race was going in both the tutorial race and in Grand Prix, but now all of a sudden, everyone means business. There was at least only a couple of seconds between, like, 7 of us on either side of me. And suddenly I'm 8th on score. Great. Yeah, they didn't explain combo at all in the tutorial. Suddenly I can't believe it's not Sonic Adventure. Oh, I overdid it. Can I restart a race? I probably can restart a race, technically. Didn't expect that turn. Shit. Oh, I can't believe I missed that. Oh god, do we have a frickin'... We have a pipe. That's true, I should be always drifting in here. I can't believe I missed that. Okay, that's cool. It looks like it resets you. I was worried about flying off the track whenever the pipe ended. So, it seemed like I blasted ahead of everybody at the end of the first lap and then stayed there. Okay, somehow in the second race, I guess because I'm so bad at cornering, I don't know. In the second race, I did terrible. And then in the third race, actually even my combo was good in this race, although somebody got X33 somehow. It's fun when it works, but this race was easy to just kind of like stay focused mostly on drifting a lot of the time. And, you know, like, there were very clear jump executions and whatnot. So, like, this race, this is actually... I'm surprised this wasn't used for tutorials, because this track actually feels like a good learning track. Just to, like, get some of, you know, get more comfortable with some of the mechanics, and always be boosting.
Welcome to Ruination.
Ruination? I was like, where's the track? No, that technically is the track. What do you mean the track? That's the sky with lanes painted on it. Like, I mean, it's kind of cool, but I'm a little worried that it's going to be hard for me to, like, perceive where the track begins and ends. Kind of makes me think of something out of Mega Race. The second world in Mega Race was supposed to be like Atlantis or something, right?
3, 2, 1,
Oh, I shouldn't have done that. That was stupid. And I paid for it. I can't believe I missed those. How did I mess that up? I disagree with that. That should have at least been in the blue. Whoa, the guardrails changed color. I don't know when I passed everybody, but I passed everybody. It seems like the bar lowers slower than it raises when you're doing tricks. I will definitely say this track is a little hard on the eyes, even if it does look cool. Alright, well, we did okay at 3 out of 4 tracks on Novice. And again, not a bad combo on that.
How did I end up doing on score? Apparently I shot ahead of everybody on score. What happened? Because in the second race, I didn't even get 6 digits on score. And actually, for 3 of the CPU players, they never got 6 digits on score. Like, how did they even register a pulse? I guess not, they're CPU players, but...
Congratulations! Alright, new record!
Bronze trophy, is that because of the difficulty level, or is that because of the score? Because it does seem like they're... It seems like the score is also the same color as the trophy. So, hang on a second. I placed first in the standings. I placed first in terms of score. And by the way, like, I think score is the only thing that's like... I don't know. Actually, that's a good point. Was the score also per track and not total? I was interpreting score as total, but it might have been per track. I don't know. 300k seems like a lot for one race. Did they never actually show... Like, did they miss the point of a Grand Prix? Actually, no. It does say the final score. That's a 3, right? I don't know. Is that a 3 or an 8? This font could stand to be more legible and a little less stylized. Hey, they spelled congratulations correct on this screen. Remember how they blatantly failed to spell congratulations on the other screen and they spelled it with a D? They got it right here, though. There was an attempt. Thanks for playing. I hope you enjoyed the Project TurboBlast Next Fest demo. Please wishlist the game if you had a blast. So what happens if I hit... So you can restart the whole Grand Prix, I guess, or you can hit continue. You've unlocked, Wait, why does it say you've unlocked Introduction Races complete now? Shouldn't that have already happened? And, like, I would have thought that wasn't the tutorial, but I don't know. We just unlocked the 3 other vehicles. Let's try another vehicle. I'm very curious about the bike. And I guess they each have different default colors that you can customize. And does it actually record your customizations for every single one? It does say more machines in the full release up there, okay. Then I can customize this machine too. It's like, part of me is sad that it doesn't automatically bring over your other customizations from the other machine. It would be cool if that were an option. I like how the exhaust on the machines is even a different color sometimes. Yeah, what do we want to do with this? I really wish the value slider were more effective, because it really seems like it doesn't do anything until you get to, like, the lowest 30% of the slider. But yeah, let's do something like that. Wheels. What do we want to... What's going on the wheels there? They have, like, the logo or something in them, I guess. I'm just going with presets on these. Green exhaust seems a bit much. Yeah, let's do something like that instead. And then is this actually the white right now? Yeah, it is. Actually, that accidentally looks kind of cool. I'm gonna go with it. Alright. Maybe do a single race this time? Oh, actually, I'm curious. Yeah, okay, so it does still arrange them by circuit. Custom tracks. Coming soon. I assume that might be, like, workshop. Like, tied to the workshop or something. So they do show you a map here. Yeah, that one had some wicked turns, I suppose. Although this one looks like it would, but it really doesn't because of the pipes. What do I want to do? And you can set the number of laps, but it starts at the default, and you can make it... Wait, what? It just goes from 8 to 999, so it's effectively endless. I don't know why you would want to do that.
And 9 is the maximum amount of bots. And then here's your bot class. Alright, you know what? We'll try standard on Vine Knot and... Well, no. You know what? I'm gonna do Novice on Oasis Loop, because that was the stress test, apparently, because everything, like, all the Novice CPUs suddenly got really good. I want to, like, get a sense of how different this vehicle is, and this is probably the best track to stress test that. Oh my god, the fucking lens flare. I mean, it's not really lens flare, but it just feels like the, you know, the starburst effect is, kind of pronounced on the bike. Oh boy, yeah, the turns feel different. Oh, I'm gonna blow up. Alright, I'm not gonna blow up. That was terrible. That's probably why I lost so much ground when I was in the first time I raced this. And I also wasn't hitting that boost. Oh, that was terrible. I'm gonna blow up. Maybe. Possibly. Maybe not. You recover surprisingly quickly, actually. In terms of, like, your health / boost meter. Only got blue that time. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm lapping people. Why is this going so much better with this vehicle? Why did I just do so much better with that? I wasn't expecting to do better with it at all. Score 268k. I didn't even get 6 digits last time. I don't know, dude. Let's look at the stats again. This has high acceleration. Okay, so that means that recovery out of banging off of all those turns was probably easier. What was the handling like versus this? Probably slightly better. I almost wish there were, like, numbers or at least, like, you know, gradation marks or something so that I could actually judge it, because otherwise it's kind of hard to A/B it. Also, the boost is... So, I don't know... Does the boost meter make your boosts more powerful, or does it mean you charge boost meter faster? That's what I don't know. I guess we could find out if we try this piece of crap. Like, I don't expect to do good with this at all. Although, if we do this on the Vine loop, that could potentially work. Yeah, let's try this on Vine loop and see what happens. What does this even... This has to control the fire, right? Yup. That's kind of cool, actually. And then the body is presumably the other color. Alright, I have to try something just to see how it looks. I have to do this research for people, because it'll be important. Oh no, wait, that's the... Hang on, what happened to the... What happened to the flames? The flames... Huh? Oh, I changed the type. The flames are only one type. Right, okay. Alright, yeah, if you want to do trans rights flames, you can do trans rights flames, and it looks pretty good. Wait, that's still not the flames, is it? Which one was the... Was that the flames? Actually, some of the presets are seemingly consistent across vehicles, because, like, there was one for the first vehicle that was, like, half and half also. No, I think that was the fire one. It almost looks... Yeah, so in the back it looks like flames, but over here it almost looks more like splatter or something. I can't really, like, pan up and down, I think.
Actually, this might unexpectedly be a neat idea. That's like inverted. Actually, wait, no. That is the way it's supposed to be, isn't it? That's why it looked like splatter the other way. I really wish there was a way to go back to default. Anyway, we'll go with that, whatever. So here, we could try blast mode with this vehicle, actually. Does this get the same tracks too? Yeah, it does. Oh, okay, there's target zones. Yeah, let's see how the heck this works. I'll still try it with Vine Knot.
Blast mode.
That's... What track is this? I don't think it matters what track I picked. I think it does its own thing.
3, 2, 1.
It also has its own music, I think? Well, I'm glad I tried it for research purposes. Well, didn't see that turn coming. Didn't think it was going to be that sharp. It is still the same track. It just reskins it. Holy shit. So no, I think it's probably the same music then, too. I just got so thrown off by the reskin. I see. It changes color when you complete 10 zones. Or, I don't know. Was that? Yeah, I think that was 10 zones, because it says, like, 13 now. Are there, like, checkpoints or something? I guess so, because the countdown just went away. Also, I noticed that I don't have the, there's no TurboBlast meter.
Zone 20 complete.
And then they have different names for each set of zones. Oh, well, that sucks. That might spell the end of me. Oh, is there only 3 colors? No, wait, look at the background, though. That time it didn't refill my time when I reached that. I thought that was usually when it happened. Maybe it's over here. It's there. That's a weird color scheme. That's a little hard on the eyes. I'm kind of like tuning out the background. And I have to wonder how different it is on each course. Turn way too early.
Zone 50 complete. Subcyclone.
That might be even harder on the eyes. Actually, you know, this looks like the lightning tracks in F-Zero GX. Except maybe with slightly more bloom on the line. You know, that's a control they don't have, is bloom. I didn't know I would need that in this game. Why is my boost not recovering? Has it always been like that? I thought I saw it recovering earlier.
Zone 60 complete. Cyclone.
Yeah, like I just saw it blink there. But I'm starting to think that, like, maybe you get a more persistent health bar, and when it's out, it's out. And that's part of the challenge of this mode. I mean, it's also flashing when I hit walls. That's not what I meant to do. That was terrible.
Zone 70 complete. Subblast.
If I can get to 75, I get silver. I might not get there. I might run out of time. Or I might barely get there. Yep. Gonna blow up pretty soon. I guess I do recharge. It's just a... Yeah, it's a very slow recharge loop. 77, we got silver. So that's your blast mode, apparently. 2 million points. Sure. It's funny though. I was already being reminded of Assault Android Cactus with the voiceover style. This mode reminds me of Infinity Drive because Infinity Drive like changes colors every few levels or something.
Congratulations!
Also, one thing that this could potentially really benefit from, an option to invert the gas button so that you only press it when you don't want to be pressing the gas. So that you don't have to be freaking pressing it all the time. Because my finger is tired. Perfect boost challenge complete. Eh? And there's actually, like, achievements for, like, each track in boost mode has accomplishments for each target. Are the target zones different for each? Did I say boost mode at some point? I meant blast mode. Too much F-Zero. Oh, the target was 70, and it actually crosses it out when you've gotten it. I thought it was 75. It was just 70. Okay. But it's the same for every single one. I'm slightly curious what Chrome Skyway ends up looking like. Let's change machine first. At the very least. So this one was... Okay, so right, I have to remember there's an energy meter and a boost meter. This one, yeah, so I would interpret this as like your energy meter is really shallow, but your boosts are stronger or something. And this has the most energy and still decent boost. Like basically the same boost rating as this. I don't know whether shallow energy meter would be like absolutely the most terrible possible choice for this mode. Because if that lowers your energy pool. But I don't know if boost affects charging. So you know what? We're going to science it. I might science it out with this one anyway. I suppose boost is slightly better on this one too. And this one has really good handling. This is the one I should have tried on the second course, honestly. But yeah, I'm curious to try this vehicle again. Let's do that, then we do blast mode, then we do Chrome Skyway, and we'll see what happens. Also, this might be the only demo I play tonight. Okay, yeah, so it basically just, like, reskins the whole background. Honestly, it makes this stage look way less cool. Because it loses the whole, like, translucent course effect. Also, but you know what? I wasn't even paying attention. I didn't see, like, the... Yeah, they've got the concentric loops going on everywhere. Quake 2, eat your heart out.
3, 2, 1.
Also, when I'm rendered holographic like this, it actually still looks more like a... Wait, did I pick the right vehicle? That's not what the vehicle looked like at all. Does it just... Does it actually standardize what vehicle you are using? Yeah, because it ends up looking like this one, doesn't it? The back looks like that one. It might not even matter what vehicle you pick, so that may have been completely pointless. Alright, never mind. I'm not gonna do that again, though. Since I have tried every vehicle except this one, though, I'll try this one. I'll do the second course again. I'm gonna try something out of curiosity. If I go to effects, yeah, that's a very terrifying effect. You can kind of tone it down by making it black. Actually, what's funny is now if you look at the center of it, it looks like a portal in Quake. Oh god, no. Please, no. I just hate how wobbly that is. Something about that is... Like, the wobbling in itself is already unnerving, but then when you make it bright, it also almost gives it, like, a flickering effect, which is like, another degree of terrible on top of it. So, like, I'm inclined to make it black just to, like, make it as ignorable as possible in terms of the color contrast. But it also kind of has a funny effect because, like, it's supposed to be an engine. It's supposed to be, like, exhaust. Like, look at how bright that is. That's supposedly, like, a deep blue. Wait, I gotta remember I can flip these. Yeah, we can do something like that, I guess. And I might want... Oh, the saturation slider has way fewer stops on it. Wait, why does it become so much brighter when... Yeah, like, that makes sense. That's from, like, 1% saturation to 0% saturation. And down here looks exactly the same as up there, almost. So the color sliders, I'm not entirely convinced they work. Alright, but let's do something like that. I'm not gonna obsess over the rest of the colors. Let's go try... Yeah, we'll just do single race again. I'm not gonna worry about time trial right now, I think. Let's do this again. Because I still feel like it's the best stress test. Do we want to try not novice? No, I think I'd rather have a consistent benchmark. We might try not novice after this and see how terribly I do. I still expect to, like, finish last in every race.
Welcome to Blue Oasis. 3, 2.
What? That's doing some Z fighting. Those engines are not having a good time right now. Oh, yeah. Okay, yep. Turning is feeling pretty different with this. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that there? Yeah, we might be fine. Actually, what I might do is replay this track as the original vehicle and see if I still have trouble with it there, or if I'm actually just, like, less bad at the game now. Yeah, no problem taking first place with that either. Seriously, the frickin' engine exhaust on this thing. You know what I should test? Briefly. Yeah, so if you finish successfully, it does keep you moving along the track. If you don't, it'll just show you ramming into a wall until you clip out of the track, apparently. Yeah, still... Well, that was like, what, 13 seconds ahead? Alright, I'm curious about one other thing, and I don't know whether this is obvious here. That's not what I meant to do. Actually... Okay, it does show you what the rewards are. I like how this is complete, but it also doesn't stop counting. Oh, a lot of the rewards are coming soon. Okay. Wait. Yeah, also there's rewards for things you literally can't do in the demo, because, like, you can't complete these cups. Okay, and this is just Zone 100 in any blast mode, apparently. And yet, it was, like, showing me accomplishments that aren't in this list, but this is specifically unlocks. There's also a grayed out mods menu. Interesting. I don't know if you can actually see your full list of unlocks somewhere. I haven't been getting, like, Steam achievement chimes for it, or toasts, so, like, it's not tied to that. But, it's slightly weird that it's incongruous like that. It's like it keeps spamming me with all these things I accomplished, even when they have no unlocks. Right, so I wanted to go in here and try one thing. If I go down here, and I do exhaust trail 0... That doesn't do anything to that, so that has nothing to do with, like, the exhaust effect directly coming out of your machine. Okay. That's what I was curious about. I do feel like it's slightly weird that you go into this completely different menu to select machine that's completely detached. Like, it's not part of the flow of, like, you select race mode and then you select machine, which would be how most racing games would do it. Alright, I said I wanted to try this vehicle one more time on that track to see how I do. But given that this has lower top speed than this, I suspect I'll be fine. I suppose the handling on that might be slightly better than this. Hair better. Alright, yeah. Let's do the science.
in whether I actually succeed in smoking the rest of the competition this time or not.
2, 1.
Yeah, so see, I'm already not first. That never happened when I played as any of the other vehicles. So why am I so much worse with the starting vehicle? Like, the stats don't bear this out. I don't understand. The turning feels way worse with this vehicle. I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, I'm hitting all the walls of this vehicle. Why did I feel better with every... Like, seriously, I've already seen enough. Why does every other vehicle feel 20 times better than this vehicle when it comes to handling? What the fuck? Like, this vehicle isn't even rated the lowest in handling out of all... Well, okay, to be fair, I did not try using this one. Oh, that's not even that much worse, though. I didn't try using this one on that track, so I might have the same problem with that. But, like, look, the difference between this one in handling and that one in handling seems pretty negligible, and yet I had a way better time with this one, too. So, it doesn't make sense to me. So yeah, the next science to try would be try using this vehicle, and we'll try on standard and see what happens. See if I still get completely smoked or not. Okay, that was weird. It was like focusing Thunder Cup when I got down there. But no, I think I have to go down there and pick the right one.
Welcome to Day Night City. 3, 2, 1.
Did that say perfect lap? I don't think I've heard that before. So, okay. That was not a perfect lap. Oh god, what am I doing? I'm forgetting how to buttons. I'm gonna stay down here on purpose. I think I almost collided with that. That was still third place. This was the track that I could not get 10th place on standard with the starting vehicle. Why is the starting vehicle that bad? Hey, Dead Camper. So, like, the tutorial, some of the tutorials were impossible, but it's because the starting vehicle is bad, apparently. Like, I'm doing way better with this vehicle. Yeah, score-wise, I didn't do so hot. Okay, so it does say total at the bottom. So yeah, I guess you're going for total score. I don't know what penalty is that. Like, I don't know what gives you a penalty. Maybe finishing 10th does. I don't know. But it seems like total score is really your gauge for the Grand Prix, and your overall placement doesn't matter. Which means it's functionally not like an actual Grand Prix. It's still a score attack.
Macaw might like this game, because it's actually all about score.
Welcome to Blue Oasis. 3, 2, 1,
Oh, well, that was good. I wasn't actually looking at the track, I was looking at the score. If I finish in anything besides 10th place here, it's like, it's making a mockery of the game. Because I finished in 10th place on this race on novice difficulty with the starting vehicle, and this is not novice difficulty. I'm definitely hitting more walls here, though. I never tried this course with this vehicle. I think. Did I? Maybe I did. Don't die again, please. Oh, fuck. Well, it didn't matter, but I hit the wrong button to try to trick. That was still okay, so the starting vehicle in this game is a problem. Because I finished 10th on this track when I played with the starting vehicle on Novice, and this is Standard, and I finished 3rd. Which I think is the same place I finished in the first track. So, like, fine. Okay, and also, those digits that I couldn't tell whether they were 3s or 8s before, they were 8s, because the 3s are open on the left side. So the font is less unreadable than I thought. It's just that the 8s are potentially ambiguous looking because they almost look open at the left. Well, I guess they're technically like that on both sides. Okay. This next track will be interesting because, like, I'm definitely feeling the low energy cap on this vehicle. It's kind of mysterious that there's a jump plate there, but also you kind of don't need it if you want to trick there. It doesn't matter. I can't believe I was too far inward for that. Oh, I was a little too low for that. I should have tricked there. I was too high on that one. no problem. That was the first track I finished first, and like again, I feel like that is a good tutorial track. They don't use this track in the tutorial at all, though. Like, this is really good for practicing various types of boosting. Oh, that's funny that it displayed the trick meter, even though I'm not in control there. Alright, decent score there. Wait, so hang on a second, though. Okay, so even at the bottom left when it says total here, that's still total for the one track. That's not across... Oh, there's nothing here that says cumulative. Unless that is cumulative. I'm still trying to figure that out. But I don't think it is.
Welcome to Rumination. 3, 2, 1,
Should have stopped drifting a little sooner. I should have been using that. I didn't realize I had it. I gotta, like... There's a very clear audio cue for it, and I just ignored it. Whoops, that was bad. I'm missing all the boosts. Shouldn't have been trying to drift that entire way. Okay, not a pro. I managed to sneak into first place late in the third lap. So I actually did better on the third and fourth courses. The second course feels like the hardest course in this Grand Prix, which is a little strange. So yeah, the position gives you, like, getting first place gives you 200k each time. So, like, consistently getting first will net you a better score, which will influence your trophy. But it's weird that, like, the placements across all 4 tracks don't accumulate the way that they would in, you know, Mario Kart or F-Zero. Because that's normally how a Grand Prix would work, I think. But let's see if... Because I got bronze last time. I feel like I got better scores this time. And also, you know what? There might be... I didn't pay attention to what my score... What the position bonuses were. They might be better bonuses on higher difficulty. No, it still looks like bronze.
Alright, new record!
It is a new record, but it's still bronze. It may be that the requirements change in each difficulty as well, so I'm not exactly sure how that works. I'm guessing 1 million is probably the cutoff for silver. Anyway, I guess allegedly I'm still bad at the game, but I feel a lot less bad at the game playing as almost any vehicle besides the starting vehicle. So I had a really bad impression of this initially when I was trying to play the tutorials. Does it let you play the tutorials as another vehicle? Like, could I actually try to go back to those with this? Because, like, you have to finish the tutorials to unlock anything else, I think, actually, no. I think we can still look at what the unlock conditions were. Finish top 3 in 4 races. 11 out of 4 complete. Introduction... That's not even what unlocks anything. That just says introduction races complete. I don't understand how that's that's not a reward. That's just stating that you completed races, I guess. I don't know. So this is effectively tracking your top speed ever accumulated. That got us the high top speed vehicle, I think? Or no, wait, was that the Hayata that was that? I forget which one was which. I want to say the Z Blitz was the... no, I don't want to close the game. Wait, just want to look at machines. Yeah, it's that one. That's the high top speed one. The Sidewinder is the high handling one. And then completing the Lightning Cup for the first time got us this one, actually. So yeah, actually the tutorials weren't required to unlock any of the vehicle. Wait, spend 4 minutes total drifting? You're kidding, right? I'm actually surprised that I got that as soon as I did, because it kind of seemed like I just spontaneously unlocked all the vehicles at the same time. Yeah, so if I go into tutorials now, what are the ones that I didn't complete? Let's do a rematch on these. I stopped the timer, but I guess I'll start them again. Just out of curiosity to see if, like, the more effective boost on this is enough to actually complete this.
Even faster in TurboBlast. 3, 2, 1.
I was probably closer, and the thing that is most interesting to me is I built up a TurboBlast, and I'm not sure I did that with the other... Like, I was thinking that probably part of the boost meter in the vehicle menu is how quickly you build up TurboBlast, because I thought I was building it up faster with this. Alright, but it's still not trivial, even with a different vehicle. So, like, this tutorial is... I'm either just not getting it, or it's demanding a hell of a lot.
Even faster in TurboBlast. 3, 2, 1.
I'm just gonna try gunning it, screw it. That got closer.
You gotta do better than that.
That is the closest I've gotten. Like, I'm pretty sure that was the end of the course that I just ran across. So, like, it does make a tangible difference. I didn't mean to do that. Like, I feel like less screwing around actually does better.
The secret to going even faster in TurboBlast. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, don't do that. That was terrible. I was a mess in that one.
To Blue Oasis. The secret to going even faster in TurboBlast. 3, 2, 1.
Actually, I can boost a lot more frequently, too. Also, you don't even have to hammer the boost button. Like, you can just hold it, and it'll boost as frequently as it can. Still not fast enough.
You gotta do better.
But of course, I wasn't actually trying to mix and match this time, and stacking boosts is supposed to be part of this lesson. But if I can boost that frequently, it almost feels like stacking isn't worth it. So I don't know. Some of these tutorials are still beyond logic. So yeah. I don't know. Some of the tutorials seem to demand a whole heck of a lot, but you also don't need to actually succeed at all the tutorials to succeed at literally winning, well, shouldn't say winning the standard, Grand Prix, because I only got bronze still, but I mean, I placed third in the first 2 races and first in the second 2 races, so, like, that feels not half bad. But it does feel like the requirements for anything besides bronze are actually pretty steep. So yeah, I mean, the game seems cool. It does seem like it's got a really high skill ceiling. And I don't think I'm even, like, at the, you know, the middle and top of the bell curve or anything. But, like, it seems like it's gonna be high quality. I think they absolutely desperately need a copy editor. They said they're interested in having people, like, if people are interested in playtesting, join the Discord, and they seem to be, like, open to people doing that in the future. So I hope that gives them some good feedback. Obviously, I already mentioned I have seen at least a little bit of feedback in the forums that, like, some people were not clicking with this game. And at first I was worried that would also be me. But no, it just turns out that the starting vehicle is either really bad or I really don't click with the starting vehicle. Which is weird, because the starting vehicle is supposed to be, like, middle of the road in terms of stats. And usually, middle of the road in terms of stats is the kind of vehicle that is beginner-friendly, but in this game, no, absolutely not. If there are turns in the course, then you're going to have to do a lot more active adjustment and, like, cutting the gas and whatnot, whereas with a vehicle like this, or the one that's high on handling, I didn't have to adjust. I didn't have to hold off the gas nearly at all. And I was still able to largely avoid colliding with walls. So, granted, you know, part of that is probably the, you know, given that this game says that it's, inspired by a mix of kart racers and also anti-gravity racers. I mean, I don't know, maybe by that they mainly meant F-Zero, but I assumed they meant, like, Wipeout and stuff when I read that initially. But later on, they went on to say that it was inspired by F-Zero. So, maybe that's all they meant, but this feels like... I mean, I know that the highest difficulty, the Master class in F-Zero, is not to be taken lightly. I think I got that far on F-Zero GX back when I actively played it, and then noped the heck out rather quickly. And I suppose that might be the case with, like, the higher difficulty here. I haven't bothered trying it, but even the medium difficulty seems like it's a challenge to get good, like, medals in, or, you know, trophies, regardless. So, I don't know if I have a good grasp of exactly what the difficulty curve of this game is. And it's probably, there's probably potential for improving the tutorial experience by maybe relaxing the requirements on a couple of them that felt impossible to pass. But also, yeah, the starting vehicle was the one that felt possibly the worst to me. So, that's not the greatest experience. So, there's room for improvement, but I do think it looks and sounds super polished, and, like, I'm impressed that they already have this much voice acting in it, even for, like, it's like, you didn't have to voice act the tutorials at all, but you did. I do think that it would be nice if you could skip past the tutorial text more immediately, and also the intro screen to the tutorial, because if you are trying to retry a tutorial, it kind of takes like 10 seconds longer than it should. Maybe I'm exaggerating there, but it feels like it takes 10 seconds longer than it should. But no, this definitely seems very promising, so it's pretty impressive even if I had a hard time with some aspects of it. So glad I did get around to playing this. And sad that I didn't see the Kickstarter like a year ago, or I guess 8-ish months ago, 8 or 9 months ago. But yeah, if this enters early access, I might be inclined to pick it up to help support the developer and, you know, extend their runway for working full-time on it. Hopefully they get it into early access before it's too late to do that. Of course, I also know developers that do have to hold down a full-time job and only develop on the side, but obviously that's going to affect the pace of development by a ton. So, I wish the developer on this success, so I hope that some folks do take advantage of the Google Forms that they opened in their latest news post for accepting more slots for custom, like, billboards and vehicles and stuff. I hope it does well.